Yes, we are. But I still don't see nobody. But hey.
Hey,
Oh,
girl.
it got
Hey.
the people. It got the people's count like up there too. I've never been
It
live
does.
before. I'm a
It
live person,
does. So, for anybody that's going to be tuning in, my name is Nika, aka Astrology Slore.
and I'm energy
Hmm.
vibes.
Got some lipstick on my teeth. Jovee told me to
That
rub my
red one,
teeth.
look, the red lipstick be tricky. It be tricky, okay? That red lipstick is be tricky.
It
But
does.
I guess let's go ahead and talk because what happens is it'll save, right?
Hi, Sopa. I think that's Sopa.
Oh, hi. So we're here to talk about the Lionsgate portal for anyone interested. I did some research on it, and a lot of people seem to be very like vague on what to accomplish during the Lionsgate portal and what exactly is it. So I'm going to be referring to my notes.
Awesome.
I'm going to be referring to my notes just to let you guys know. So this is like a cosmic alignment that's happening, right? And so the energy is going to be open, or the portal is going to be open between July 28th through August 12th. And so what it means is like the sun is in Leo, the star in Ceres, and then Orion's belt constellation are all coming into an alignment, allowing for like this energetic portal to open up where you can really, it's stronger energy basically to manifest anything that you want to come into your life. I don't know if you guys know the importance of energy and how to use it to your advantage, but it's super important to know about certain things like this, especially when energy is more intense, to really call into your life what you want to call into. So, with this particular alignment that's happening, or cosmic alignment that's happening, you want to manifest things that is going to bring you forward movement, spiritual ascension, um, a spiritual awakening, um, dreams coming true, abundance, good fortune, fertility. Because if you think about it, the sign Leo is all about romance, fertility,
Yes.
fun, creation, or being creative. So that's some of the things that you really want to call or use that energy to your advantages. If you want something to come to life for your business, or if you want your business to go viral, if you want to see for progression in your business, this is a manifestation that you could use this energy or this alignment that's happening. You could use that to manifest that for your business.
Absolutely. So, guys, tune in. You do not want to miss this live. We're going to be doing a collective reading as well on how you can harness this energy.
What are you doing? Go ahead.
And Jovee is going to be speaking about synastry and maybe even questions about your big three. So stick around for this live.
Yes, awesome. So, but I gave it all I got in the beginning. Okay, that's what you want to do. So the energy is the most potent on August 8th. So get your pens ready. Get, I mean, even if you don't believe in it or trust in it, just do it. Call it into your life and see what happens. See how it manifests in your life. I mean, this is the time to do it. Yes, Silver, you're a Leo rising. You definitely want to do that, especially if you want like, certain jobs, or if you want to be noticed, if you want people to pay attention to you, your creative ideas. Like, call that into your life and use this portal, this energetic portal, to really work for you. But also, in doing so, you need to be brave, because in order for your manifestations to come through, that means that other things have to be removed, obstacles have to be removed, and you have to be ready to also release those things in order for your manifestations to come through.
So true. So true. You have to be willing to step out of a comfort zone
Mm-hmm.
and really be open. Yeah. So it's a lot of risk there.
Some ways you can manifest is just writing. That's it. Writing and signing your name to it. Some people like to burn it. Some people like to fold it and put it away. But at least just put it out in the universe. What you want.
Yes.
What you want.
Yes. I love it. I love it. I love it. So are we gonna do, or am I gonna do a collective reading?
Yes, it's your cue to do the collective.
It's my cue to do the collective. Okay, collective. Let's see how this Lions Lionsgate portal, how is this going to affect you that are watching right now, and even those that may come in for the replay, how is this going to affect you? Move some things around here. There we go. Happy Monday.
Dang, it is Monday.
Thank you, Valkyrie. Welcome in.
That is so nice. Thank you, Valkyrie.
All right. Me and my horrible shuffling here.
It works. It gets the job done.
It gets the job done. Okay, we got the moon coming through as the main energy. It kind of goes hand in hand with what Jovee was just saying, like all the fears, all the things that you may be holding on to that's in the way of those manifestations. You may have to release that energy so that your manifestations are stronger. Got the death card. Okay. So we definitely have a rebirth of energy. We got some major arcana with the Wheel of Fortune and the death card. So, and the moon card. So let's just clarify that main energy, because what this is kind of giving is that the moon is associated with subconscious energy. Okay. Subconscious energy and fears, deeply rooted fears that you may have or may be holding on to that could be in the way of you manifesting what you need for the Lionsgate Portal Collective. So, yeah, look at that. We got the Seven of Swords and the Moon. Yeah, so in order for your manifestations to be the strongest collective, you're going to have to be in a place of receiving, okay? And you're going to have to be honest with yourself here. The Seven of Swords and Moon energy. This could even be where you have trouble believing in yourself. You know, some of us really have to work on our belief system. We really have to work on acknowledging how far we've come. Sometimes this can be imposter syndrome. So, you know, this main energy is really alluding to the fact that there are a lot of subconscious fears that we could be holding on to and not really realize. And that stands in the way of our potential manifestation. So let's go further. I'm just going to clarify this energy collective. Hello, Sharon. Welcome in. We have the King of Wands, the High Priestess, the Six of Swords on top of the Wheel of Fortune, and we have the 10 of Wands. Okay, so yeah, like this energy is really alluding to releasing. It's alluding to really releasing the fears, releasing the anxiety, releasing the doubt. This is really, the death card is a rebirth energy. Really accepting the ending of cycles, releasing all of that extra baggage that you could be holding on to, that it again stands in the way of you and your manifestations, right? We have the Wheel of Fortune and the Six of Swords. So only by being honest with ourselves and by really digging into those fears are we able to go ahead, take a deep breath, move forward. We see the wheels turning in our favor once we're able to do that, once we're able to be honest with ourselves. What are those fears? You know, what is legitimately holding me back? We have the Three of Cups and the High Priestess. So for some of us, these fears can be different things. It can be internal, it can be external, it can be our environment. You know, what's a part of our environment? Sometimes it can be our association, you know, the friends and the people, the company that we keep around us, that can sometimes contribute to things in a negative or positive way. We have the Four of Swords and the King of Wands. So, yeah, this energy is synonymous with making sure that we act. Okay, this is a reading of action. And yes, the Lionsgate portal is happening on 8/8. Okay, and this reading is really helping us to prepare for that, to prepare for that time. And that's why this main energy is alluding to making sure that we address those fears, those doubts, because they cannot actually exist in the way of this, in the way of our manifestations collective. So hopefully this reading wasn't too heavy. Hopefully it was just what we needed. But let's pull an advice card, and then I'm going to turn it back over to Jovee, who is skilled in the art of synastry. And she's going to be looking at your big three, if you guys would like, sun, moon, rising, and actually helping you to harness that energy better. So grateful. We're both so grateful that everyone's here with us. Let's pull an advice card. Okay, we have the crown chakra, one with all. Yeah. So this card is coming out to let you know you're not alone. Okay, you're not alone in this journey. On this journey to facing your subconscious fears, you're not alone in this. Okay, there's a divine force that is flowing through you no matter what your belief system is. This could be source, this could be the universe, whatever that means for you. And then the last part of this advice card, being aware that you have a choice as to how you respond to what's happening in your life. So, this is your time to harness that power, most definitely. And this is a very beautiful energy, beautiful reminders in terms of the Lion's Gate portal. I'm sending lots of love and light to everyone that was able to receive this reading here. How's everyone feeling?
Hi, Sharon. I saw you come in and you said, is it now? It definitely is now, and it's going up until the 12th of August. The strongest is August 8th. So I don't know if you guys believe in like spiritual blasts or cleansing your energy, but make it a vibe for yourself to, put you in a mood to create and really manifest. And nothing is too large. Like I know with my manifestation, sometimes I'm like, that's just too unrealistic. Nothing is unrealistic. So make sure that you are very detailed into as to what you're calling into your life. So yeah, that's what you definitely want to work towards, and also releasing energy, being brave, releasing that energy, which is basically what astrology Slore just read for you. But yeah, so that's what you want to do and be prepared for. You can also look up the information if you want to know more about it. We're just letting you know that the energy is out there, and this is a very powerful time to go ahead and start calling into your life what you want or releasing what you do not want. Other than that, I will open up. Does anybody have any questions about their placements, their synastry placements, their partners' placements? I can go ahead and answer some of those questions as well if anyone has them.
This is the perfect opportunity, guys. Jovee is a 5-star rated astrologist, and she's skilled in synastry and birth charts. So this is the perfect time for you to ask any questions you have regarding your chart.
Thank you. So why don't we talk about Leo until somebody else says something, right? So Leo
Yeah.
energy, what I love about Leo energy is it fails to not be seen or recognized. So if you have any of those placements, this is something you really want to maximize, especially if you're a Leo rising. Like you're meant to be seen. You're creative. Plays. What being an influencer, like I have a friend who's a Leo rising, he's an influencer. I mean, he gets noticed wherever he is. Leo is a very warm and abundant energy as well, so people are automatically drawn to their warmth and their light, because Leo represents sun is light, so you can't really, they're going to attract the attention wherever they are. Now depending on where it's at in your chart, that's probably where most of your light will shine. But for Leo risings or Leo placements period, this is a fire sign. It's very action oriented, it demands attention, and these placements could really work for you as well, like being seen or being noticed or acknowledged. You have a Sag moon still. Let me see. I asked way too many questions, but I have a Sag moon. Oh, so does Nika, and a stellium in Scorpio and Venus. Ooh, that's really different, right? Because a Sag moon is a very optimistic energy, right? They
Yeah.
like to live in the space of optimism. A lot of times they like to travel, or explore. They're a sponge of information and higher learning. Um, so they're again, they're like a sponge of information. They like long distance travel. They're very philosophical, and a lot of times they have something surrounding religion or a spiritual nature about them. Um, And then you have a Scorpio stellium, which is something different, especially a Scorpio Venus, because a Scorpio Venus is non-trusting, where Sagittarius could be like, they don't want to commit to one thing. They want to experience everything. And Scorpio is very much mine. Like mine, I don't trust you. They're very observant, they're very hesitant, they're very private. And so it's a different kind of energy. It really depends on where it lands in your chart. But you have those inner workings going on in your chart, especially if you have a Scorpio Venus, you may tend to attract or be attracted to water signs. So Scorpio, Cancer, or Pisces, you may be attracted to. Let me see. I think Valkyrie said something too, but then I can't bring up the comment. Yes, I love our two youngest siblings. We are Saggies. They bicker and fight. 5 minutes later, they're all buddies again, and we laugh and smile. Yeah, they don't tend to hold grudges very long, but they're very opinionated, and they could be very. They don't like to be challenged when it comes to their belief systems and things like that. I have all three air signs in my sun, moon, and rising, but my Leo and Venus. So Leo and Venus, you are attracted to people who are super confident, who are in the limelight. You tend to be attracted to fire signs again. So Leo, Sagittarius, or what's the other one? Because Leo, Sagittarius,
Leo, Aries.
and Aries. You may be attracted to them. Now, there's also your Mars placement too, and that tells you other people that you might be attracted to. But there's a thing there. You might be attracted to somebody who's super confident. You having a lot of air placements means that you're a very mental sign, so you need to be stimulated mentally, and you may be always in your head about things like overthinking. Communication is something that is probably something that you value.
You know, now that I think about it, Valkyrie, I think she's a Libra sun, a
Yes.
Gemini moon, and an Aquarius rising.
So with Gemini, I'm an Aquarius rising. For Gemini moons, you know, but they're overthinkers. They're overthinkers, Gemini moons, and they tend to be popular amongst their friend groups or like to have gatherings of some sort. Like, so they're at, and again, it depends on where it's at in your chart, but most Leo, Gemini moons, they have like a lot of friends or a lot of people that they interact with because they love information. They love soaking up information. They love talking about information. Like they are like a computer system, really. Gemini rules the third house, which is all about communication. Now, your Libra sun is, you know, Libra's about partnership and personal relationships. You like balance and harmony. You don't really like mess with like things that can cause conflict or anything like that. They could be very charming as well. And the Aquarius rising, you could be very unique. There could be something very unique about you, like either you dye your hair or you wear. There's something very unique about your look. They're also pretty quirky. They're all about humanitarianism and things like that. So they're all mental.
She said on point. Oh wow. Amazing.
I can't see the other comments. Oh, here it
Oh,
goes.
let me tell you. I'll tell you what they say. Hold on one second. Um, okay. So, Sharon said, I see that with the youngest sibling, may God rest her soul. I miss her, even though we aren't in each other's lives, only during holidays. My Libra son is an only child.
Oh, okay. You have a Libra sun too. I have my daughter's in Libra. You know, I love Libra placements because they're very charming and attractive placements, especially if you have a Libra rising. What can get Libras into trouble is if they have like a Libra Mercury, because they tend to be too charismatic and they tend to play into people's like they know how to people please really well, right? So sometimes they can lie. It's not like a negative thing, but they just don't like conflict. You know what I mean? Like they just want to keep it easy. So sometimes that Libra Mercury be like a thing. Like, do you really like me, or are, are you just saying it? My daughter Freya is a Sagittarius. Her father is a Sagittarius, but I stay away for. See, I told you because you got that Leo Venus. So, so that Sagittarius is her father, and then she's a Sagittarius. But I stay away for Sagittarius men because I can't stand them sometimes. I love Sagittarius people because they funny. They laugh at my jokes. They're very warm and what they call jovial. But just don't piss them off, or you cannot be negative around those people or be pessimistic because they don't do well with that. They like to look at the brighter side of things, but the risk with that is they don't take heed to some risks because they're always thinking positively that they don't exactly they tend to miss the mark on risks and they make them too much. That's why they could be gamblers too. I don't really like Sagittarius Mars for my placements because again it gives me very non-committal energy. So any good news for Scorpio and meaningful loving relationships, houses? He's such a sweetie pie. Yes, people please, but peacekeeper. Yes, definitely. Scorpios can be possessive, especially if synastry, um, the synastry part of being with a Libra, they're very especially if you have like Pluto contacts in your synastry, like if you have your Venus conjunct square conjunct or square your Venus, your Mars, your rising, because Scorpio is very like you have to earn their trust. They're very like, I want you, I want to take over you, codependent. It is not for everybody. Scorpio energy is not for everybody. They tend to have like a darker sense of humor. If you're a Scorpio rising, more of a darker aesthetic. So you can have like, you could wear dark lipstick or dark eyeliner. Your hair could be darker. You tend to wear darker clothes. Scorpio Mercury, for example, they tend to have like darker jokes. So I don't know if anybody's ever heard of Pete Davidson, but he
Yeah.
has a lot of Scorpio placements. You know who else has a lot of Scorpio placements too? Drake. Drake has a lot of Scorpio placements.
Isn't he like a Scorpio sun?
He's a Scorpio almost everything.
Oh,
Like that's
wow.
too much Scorpio for me because they could be very controlling, and they could be very just suspect all the time. Um, yes, yes, exactly. Again, it depends on where it's at in the chart, how it's aspecting your chart. Because some people love Scorpio placements. Like, for example, I have a lot of Scorpio. Like, I'm in a Scorpio house. I have a lot of my planets in a Scorpio house. So I have my Mars, Pluto, and Saturn all in a Scorpio house. Anybody that transits over my eighth house as well will trigger that kind of energy for me, where I can be like untrusting or fearful of losing the person. But let me tell you, the sex is chef's kiss. Chef's kiss. I promise you. Let's see.
I don't think I have any Scorpio placements in my chart, and I don't recall, anyways,
Yes, you
having.
do. You have Aquarius in the eighth house. So that gives a
Oh,
scorpionic kind of energy. You don't have a lot of I have to look at your placements now because I understand aspects so much more. So if you have anything aspecting your Pluto placement, or your Pluto, your planet of Pluto, if you have anything aspecting that, or if you have any placements in the eighth house, or if you have any signs in Scorpio, they kind of allude to the same kind of energy. Aquarius being in the Saturn house, though, it kind of gives me like with trauma. I think you could be very mental about it, where it's just like because Aquarius have a detachment energy. So I don't know if you kind of like detach from it at times or
yeah, I do.
don't really want to deal with it at times.
Hmm.
With that Aquarius, also you feel deeply about. You're big on like activism, humanity, things like that. You don't. It's not more one on one. It's more like humanity as a whole. Like you do
Hmm.
you get what that I'm saying when it comes to
Yeah,
that?
like I think about things for the betterment of like the universe, or like what's best
Exactly.
for the people, for the group of,
Mhm.
that.
And
Yeah,
Aquarius are very futuristic thinkers.
yeah,
So a lot of times they come off weird or outlandish when it comes to their ideas because it's not going to follow a specific trend or structure. So a lot of people are like, you know what I mean? But you want to keep that energy because the ideas that you have, or whatever that is kind of like out of the box. that is something for the future. It may not be for your now. That's why I podcast, because I might get 3 listeners, but 10 years from now I might be popping. I did a Sagittarius video 3 years ago where I talked about what I envy about Sagittarius. That thing is up to like, I don't know, 7,000 views. I did that 3 years ago, and then all of a sudden it just got popping. So,
I see. I have to catch up on your episodes. It's been a minute. I'm gonna catch up on it.
that's
So,
okay.
for those of you who are wondering, Jovee has a podcast called Girl I Don't Know, and it is dope. I've been featured on there a couple of times.
Oh yes, check it out. It's all about progression and movement and forward thinking, and it's just mad reflective. I can't help it. I got a lot of 12th house energies too, which is a very reflective house. Um, let's see. Venus is love for women. Yeah, Venus for men is who they. Okay, see me. Venus for men is their ideal women. Like, so if your ascendant is conjunction, opposition, sextile, I guess. If his Venus makes any type of contact to your rising, that's really good, because then he's like, you're his ideal woman. You're so attractive to him, you know. Jupiter in a woman's chart is their husband. So my Jupiter is in Scorpio, but I don't know if I could do a Scorpio energy, even though I harness it myself. But yeah, Jupiter in the woman's chart is said to represent husband.
You just dropped a major bomb just now. So wait, I need to hear that again. You said you said a woman's rising, if it's trine, conjunct, or anything to a man's Venus.
Mm-hmm. That's
Oh,
their like
wow.
ideal woman. Or another placement is if their ascendant lands in their 7th house. That could be an implication of attraction there too. You also want to see Saturn in their 7th house. That means that they want more of a commitment with you, or want to be in a relationship, or feels more obligated to the relationship. That's a good placement for long-term synastry placements. Mars in a man's chart, or anyone's chart, man or woman, it speaks to more of a sexual, animalistic, physical kind of attraction. So my Mars is in Libra, so I'm attracted to men who have Libra placements, but my Venus is in Aquarius, so I'm also, which is so true, by the way, I'm attracted to men that has something about them that stands out.
Wow.
Like, whether they have locks, or they have a certain way of dressing, or there's something about a man that looks different from the norm that I would be attracted to. So check that out, and you could definitely put it towards people that you like, why you're attracted to them, why you have this draw to them. Check out those placements, and you'll probably see a similarity there.
I think my wife's Venus is in Pisces, and then my Venus is in Virgo, and we're like, that's like literally sister sign.
Yes, they are oppositions, but oppositions contrast to what you see. There's a lot of things that you read, especially if you're looking up information, that they can have like a very negative connotation. Am I saying that right?
Connotation.
Okay, that. They can have like a negative overview of these certain aspects, but I tend to love oppositions. Opposite attract. It's a major attraction. It's a major magnetic attraction aspect to have. So I tend to like oppositions. But it's two ends of the spectrum, where Virgos can be a little bit more pessimistic and realistic, and Pisces could be too imaginative, too self-sacrificial, but Pisces is exalted in the Venus placement. So that is like a great placement, but it's hard because I have my Venus in the 12th house that's traditionally ruled by Pisces. So I have some similarities, almost as if I have Venus in Pisces too, but mine is in Aquarius. So it's going to have a different flair to it. But yeah.
So Venus in Aquarius, what does that look like?
Venus is in Aquarius. It's people that are attracted to people that are unique, that stand out. They don't do clingy. So if you're trying to, like, me personally, I can't do too much clingy. Like, you have to stimulate me mentally. if you can get me mentally where we could talk and discuss, maybe because my Mercury's also in Aquarius, but if you can get me mentally, then you can have me physically. I hate the way that came out, but if you can get me mentally, like that is a shoe in for me. But if you can't get me here, I'm not gonna be interested in you at
I
all.
feel you. Sapiosexual all the way.
Yes.
So I get it. I get it
Yes.
100%.
So yeah, that's what I would say. And Aquarius has more of a detached nature, but the reason why, and my conclusion is because they need longer periods of time to process information. Geminis, I feel like can process like that, like literally like a computer, where Aquarius needs to sit back and think about how they feel. Because I think your wife has
Absolutely.
Aquarius moon too. So they have to sit back and think about, how do I feel about it? Not feel it, but I need to think about how I feel about it. Think about how I want to react to this. Think about how I want to approach this. And that takes longer for them to process.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Um,
Guys, share the live if you can. I don't know if you're still on here, Valkyrie, but if you can share it to the Discord group, that'd be great. Thank you, beautiful.
yeah.
Valkyrie said it gets me in trouble. What gets you in trouble, Valkyrie?
Yes. Take the eyes. She was like, the eyes do it for me.
Oh, you have on Twitter. That's awesome.
Oh, thanks. It's hard for me. You mean X? Because they don't call it Twitter anymore.
Right.
He
Thank
changed
you in
it to
advance,
X
Sharon.
because for why? Like, what is that about? You just changing stuff.
Right.
I don't get it, but I let the rich be rich. Okay.
He made it a mission to buy Twitter.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I would say that now a lot of people have this whole thing where they look at their sun signs, or he's the this or he's the that. Like sun signs in synastry is not too important. It's the other stuff like your moon placement. Like is that because your moon, if your moon, you want to see that your moon makes some kind of aspect, or at least to the personal planets, because moon is your domestic life background, and that could be very different from your partner. So moon aspects are good. Venus aspects, like the personal planets, you do want to see happening. Some people don't look at the more generational planets like Pluto, Neptune, and Uranus. I like to look at them because it does make a difference.
Mm-hmm.
By generational, I mean a lot of people that are born in that same time frame are going to have the same sign as you, not in the same house. So you might
Right.
display it a little bit different, but it's
Right.
going to be the same sign. So yeah,
Thank
those
you for
people.
sharing. Thank you for sharing, Silpa, for sharing
Thank
the.
you. Pluto too. I happen to love Pluto aspects because Pluto, because I do. I want. Why are you so obsessed with me? I need some kind of like. Tell me you into me. You know what I mean? But don't be too clingy. But tell me like be concerned.
Oh my goodness.
I know it's weird.
Thank you, Sharon. Shout out to you guys for being here. Thank you. Thank
Oh,
you, Silpa, Sharon, Valkyrie.
yes, I have Libra and Pluto too. So does your if you have Pluto aspecting your sun, because your sun is in Libra and your Pluto's in Libra, that could be very intense as well. Um, but
Pluto
yeah,
and Libra. Whew.
yeah. And you want to check where your Pluto placement is at too. Because a lot of times where your Pluto is at in your house, that's probably where you receive some kind of trauma or some kind of reinvention of self. Saturn, wherever Saturn is at in your chart, is where you might receive restriction and delays. But later on in life, there's all these lessons that you learn through Saturn, tend to unfold and really work in your favor. But yeah, that's what I have. Unless anybody has any. Okay, what's your question, Valkyrie? Because I'm about to say, unless anybody else has any questions.
Welcome in, Ashley. I seen you earlier. Hello.
Hey, Ashley. Um, me being different and unique. Me too, girl. I got so many Aquarius placements. Like I'm a Capricorn sun and a Virgo moon. But those are the two earth signs that I have in my chart. I don't have any. I'm in water houses, but I don't have any water signs, and I don't have any fire placements outside of my generational planets. So everything else is just air. Mars is in Libra, Venus is in Aquarius. What else? My rising is in Aquarius, Mercury is in Aquarius, Saturn is in Libra, Pluto's in Libra. So I have a lot of air placements. Okay, Saturn in the fourth house. Yeah,
So
there's
with you having a lot of air placements, how does that work with your water houses? Because one is mental and then the other is emotional.
You know what? I had to really figure that out by myself. I mean, figure that out for myself because it's still kind of conflicting, especially when I have like these Aquarius placements and like with my eighth house, I understand it. Like with Saturn, with my Mars, with my Pluto all being in Libra in a water house, like there's some things that I'm very intense on, especially with Saturn there's that issue with people pleasing that I have. And I don't like things to be unfair. I hate for things to be unfair. And usually that's when start seeing me flip tables when things start being one sided, like just
Flipping the table.
yeah, like but my Aquarius being in the 12th house, like I guess I may come off detached to other people. I would say that once I do connect with you, I tend to overgive. Especially with Venus in the 12th house, you really don't see your value. So it affects you even outside of your relationships because Venus rules your money. Venus rules food. Venus rules what you're attracted to. Um, and your values. So with my Venus being in the 12th house, I tend to lowball myself a lot. So even when I first started my business, I was charging only like $10 until a family member was like, "Girl, charge more. You're doing $10 on all that work, charge more." At jobs, I might lowball myself instead of asking for I'm too afraid to ask for what I want because I don't think that I am valuable enough. So it's all here though. It's not something that's truly what's happening. It's the perception of yourself that can take place in the 12th house that could be a little bit difficult. The 12th and the 8th house are considered karmic houses and they can be kind of hard to be in. um I've been talking to this Pisces gentleman. I know where he was born, the year and the month and the day, but I don't know the time. See, time is important only because like without the time I could see where most of his placements are, like what signs they're in. But when you have the time, it tells me what house they're in. And then I could also see when you lay the charts on top of each other, I see where his planets land in your house. So basically, where he's triggering you, and I can flip flop it and see where you're triggering him. So time is important, but if you don't have it, you can still get a lot of good information from that. So definitely, I go to astro.com or Cafe Astrology. You could look up synastry charts. There's a lot of places that you could look up free synastry charts. So if we ever was to do that again, shoot me some aspects or placements that he have, and I'll be happy to tell you my observation about it. Are you are you same sex couple? Like, does synastry work for same? It's the same thing because it's just a vibe. It's a connection. It's the energy that you guys create while being together. So it's not just about partnerships. It's about, you could do synastry charts with your siblings. You could do synastry chart with your bosses, with love interests. So yeah. Um, Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. So Saturn, I think Silpa mentioned Saturn in the fourth house. Saturn in the fourth house gives me strict household, or like a lot of like feeling like very restricted within the household, or maybe strict household. That's what that gives me.
Could that also be like friction with mom or a motherly figure?
Yes, because the fourth house moon represents mom, the fourth house represents mom. So Saturn in there could be a delayed or a it could be like a certain restriction relationship with mom too, with that fourth house energy, because that all relates to mom, and I believe the 10th house relates to father. But
It
yes.
does. Yes. Oh my goodness. Y'all see how dope Jovee is. Make sure you guys subscribe to Jovee on here. She's
Yes.
energy vibes everywhere.
Yes, please do. And I'm still fairly cheap. Take advantage of my Venus being in the 12th house. Take advantage of me not really lowballing myself.
Well,
I'm
we're
gonna
gonna
go
talk
ahead
about that later
and
about
take
your
it. Right,
prices needing to
right.
go up.
Because my business advisor, like she's the reason why I even got started. So I come to her for all my business advice. But yeah, it's $25 for a birth chart. And for synastry, it's only $40. And there's a lot that comes with it. It's a lot of understanding
It
that can come
is.
with it. So I'm energy.vibes everywhere. You can book me, even go to my YouTube channel. You could book me. All my booking information is there. Taurus in the 10th house. See, you know what I like about Taurus? Taurus is also a very attractive sign, but more in
Yeah.
a practical way, because what rules Venus is, I could talk about this all day. So let me know when you're ready to end. I could go 1,000 years on this, but
Oh,
Taurus
I'm
rules
good.
Venus. The thing that rules Venus is Libra, or the signs that rules Libra is Venus and Taurus. Taurus is a little bit more practical. Taurus in the 10th house, it depends on what planets are in the 10th house. But I believe actually Chris Brown has a lot of Taurus going on in the 10th house, and that's like longevity. And 10th house can rule career, public image, status. So this is someone who's very committed, very much tunnel vision when it comes to like their career goals and things like that. They can be very rigid at times too, like stubborn. They can be very stubborn at times, but yeah, I cry some more. No, you have great placements, Sophia. You have great placements. All I know is he was born March 7th, 1996, and he was way younger than me. And where he was born is okay. Well, if you want to go to if you want to, because it's going to take me, I don't have the capability to bring up the charts right now, because I usually do it on my phone and it'll break away from the screen. But if you want to look that up on like a chart, a birth chart, whatever, it'll bring up his placements. Yeah, definitely hit me up. I will be happy to read that synastry. I can tell you what the restrictions are between your relationships, where he's most attracted to you, how you work in each other's lives, all of that.
Very top tier. I agree, Silpa. Thank you for that review for Jovee. I
Oh,
agree with Silpa. Jovee's birth chart breakdown, the best I've ever seen and had. Jovee's the only person I go to for my synastry and my birth chart readings.
thank you. I appreciate that, guys. You don't understand. I do. Um, um, but yeah, so any more information, definitely hit me up on my platforms. I do Girl I Don't Know. That's my podcast. I'm on energy.vibes on TikTok. I think I'm energy.vibes or energyvibes1982 at gmail if you wanted to email me, and you could just book a read, and I'll be more than happy to go through it. She said, "No, keep talking. I lied to learn." I think we're love. Um, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Claiming. Go ahead and manifest that for that Lionsgate portal to live 1,000 years. Would you want to live 1,000 years though? Because the rate we're going, it's like, let me do my 80, 90 years and get me up out of here, please. I'm done. Okay, done. But
Yes. What an amazing vibe. And guys, we are going to be back on here. You will see us again collaborating. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. That helps to keep us coming up on your feed. Make sure you subscribe to both of us. And definitely check out Jovee 1982, aka Energy.Vibes, guys.
yes, thank you. This was great. Loved it. We're at 43 minutes, so we're gonna go ahead and stop here. But for letting me ramble about my planets and the stars, I really enjoyed that.
Yes, this was wonderful. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And Jovee, thank you so much for this beautiful collaboration. We will be back soon.
Okay. All right, guys.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.